going to start the process with the topic which we have been discussing in the previous class, that is frequency domain analysis, and we had to discuss upon the expression for MR, omega R, and bandwidth. So we have already studied all these things before. It's relevant equations we have to see. So we have seen that frequency domain, you have magnitude and phase plot. What you can see here, we have seen that there are different resonant peak that is denoted by MR, and we also seen that resonant frequency, it is denoted by omega R, and the bandwidth we have BW. So we are going to see the expressions for MR, WR, and bandwidth. So first, to start with the equation for M, in the previous class we have seen all these things, and we have understood that the equation for T of j omega we got, and all those things. Then M also we have 1 by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2u zeta whole square raised to 1 by 2. So this was the magnitude, and phase also we got in terms of tan inverse of 2 zeta u by 1 minus u square minus tan inverse of, and when u is greater than 1, we got it as minus 180 degree plus tan inverse of 2u 2 zeta u by 1 minus u square. So you are going to use all these things, and we are going to find the expression for MR, the omega R, and bandwidth. So let me take first the expression for M. So I know that M is equal to the magnitude. M is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus u whole square plus 2u zeta whole square, and you are taking the root of that. So after that, you have to just differentiate with respect to u. So here I have explained you, we are going to find out the expressions for MR, omega, WR, and omega R, and bandwidth. So we know that what is MR? MR is already we have studied, that is resonant peak, and omega R is resonant frequency, and you have bandwidth. So we are going to take this expression for M, that is 1 by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 u zeta whole square. Everything should be in root. Okay, so when you take the differentiation of that dm by du, so you can just do the differentiation for the equation for M, that is the equation which we have studied in the previous class. So when you do the differentiation of that, what you're going to get it? So all of you know the differentiation, so you can just try doing the differentiation for that. So you will get dm by du. When you do the differentiation with respect to u, you'll get dm by du is equal to minus 1 by 2. You can do this, you will get it as 4u cube minus 4u plus 8u zeta square divided by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 zeta u whole square, everything raised to 3 by 2, that is equal to 0. So this is what you will get for dm by du, and when you simplify this equation further, you can write that this numerator, that is 4u cube minus 4u plus 8u zeta square, can be equated to 0, and I am taking 4u common outside, so I can write 4u into u square minus 1 plus 2 zeta square is equal to 0. So once you get the equation after differentiation for dm by du, and you are taking the numerator part equating to 0, you can simplify this and find out the roots. So when you find the roots for this equation, 4u cube minus 4u plus 8u zeta square is equal to 0. When you find out the roots, you get ur is equal to 0, one of the root, and ur is equal to root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So you can keep a note of these things. We have just taken the previous equation for the magnitude, and then we have differentiation we have done with respect to u. Okay, so we got the roots as ur is equal to 0 and ur is equal to root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So all of you can complete it. So once it is completed, you just let me know that we'll proceed further. So we have done here just the derivative of m, and we have just found the roots of that equation. So you can make a note of these things. So here we are studying the correlation between the time and frequency. So here we have seen the components mr, omega r, and bandwidth, and we are going to derive the expressions for all these things. So for that we have used the equation m, and we have taken the derivative of dm by du, and we have equated this equation 4u cube minus 4u plus 8u zeta square is equal to 0, and we got the roots for that. That is ur is equal to 0 and ur is equal to root of 1 minus zeta square. Have you completed? Have you completed that? Have you noted down those things?
Yes, sir. One more.
Yeah, fine, fine. So here we got the roots as ur is equal to 0 and ur is equal to root of 1 minus zeta square. Now we will proceed further. Okay, fine. When you calculate the roots, you have to do that. You can simplify that further, and you end up with these two things. So further on, so now you got the ur is equal to 0. You can say that ur is equal to 0 does not give the true maximum, and if zeta is less than 0.707. So what you got ur is equal to 0, and you got ur is equal to root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So these were the two equations what you got, means the roots what you got here. But what you can say that when ur is equal to 0, you can say that does not give a true maximum if zeta value is less than 0.707. So we take the other one, that is ur is equal to root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So u can be represented as, which we have studied in the previous class. So I will just take you there. U can be represented as omega divided by omega n. So this we had used in the previous class. U can be represented as omega by omega n. So I can just say that ur is equal to omega r divided by omega n, and that is equal to root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So from this expression you can write omega r. Omega r can be written as omega n into root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So we can see that we are going to find the omega r, and we got omega r is equal to uh, omega n root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So the angular frequency is always a real quantity, and the equation 1 is meaningful so this condition is very important. So you can say that omega r is equal to omega n root of 1 minus 2 zeta square is meaningful, or it is valid when you can say that 2 zeta square is less than 1, or zeta is less than 0.707. So this condition has to be valid for the equation 1 to be meaningful, that is omega r is equal to omega n root of 1 minus zeta square. So you can make a note of these things. So here we get omega r is equal to omega n root of 1 minus zeta square, and you get the condition where 2 zeta square is less than 1, and or zeta is less than 0.707. So for let us take that zeta greater than 0.707, the resonant frequency is omega r is equal to 0, and mr is equal to 1. For zeta less than 0.707, the resonant peak is, we can find out the resonant peak. So we are taking that zeta is greater than or equal to 0.0707, and the resonant frequency omega r is equal to 0. This is what we are going to consider, and mr we are taking it as 1. So for zeta less than 0.707, the resonant peak will be mr is equal to m, for u is equal to ur. So this mr and m will be same when u will be equal to ur. So this is what you can understand here. The equation for m we have already written. So the mr is the maximum point. So what we have seen in the previous class. So this is mr. mr is called as this point, resonant peak, and you know that this is mr. So you can say that m is equal to mr when u is equal to ur. So that's what we have, and we have already the equation for m is there with us. So you can say that mr is equal to m for u is equal to ur. So you can make a note of those things. So what is mr is equal to m? What is the equation for m? 1 divided by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 zeta u whole square root of. So mr also will be the same that of m when u is equal to ur. For the condition u is equal to ur. So you can note these things, and we will then proceed further. So we got the expression for omega r as well as mr. So omega r we got it as here, as we have discussed before. You got omega r is equal to omega n root of 1 minus 2 zeta square, and we got mr is equal to same as m, and that is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 zeta u whole square, the root of that. So this is applicable when u is equal to ur. So you can note down this. So this is we are seeing the expressions for MR and expressions for omega R, and now we can also see with respect to bandwidth. So we have told MR is equal to M provided U is equal to UR, and we also know that for the resonant for zeta greater than or equal to 0.707, the resonant frequency is omega R is equal to 0 and MR is equal to 1. So we are seeing that the resonant peak at the condition zeta less than 0.707, so you can say that mr is equal to same as m, and m is what the magnitude, and we have already seen that equation before. So mr is equal to m for the condition u is equal to ur. So you get you have just substituted the equation what we had before for m, that is 1 by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 zeta u whole square root of that. So that is the equation for mr at u is equal to ur. So this you can also say that when zeta is less than 0.707, so when the condition zeta is less than 0.707, so you have already gone with it, that is 2. So when zeta is less than 0.707, you can write that mr is equal to 1 divided by 1 divided by 2 zeta root of 1 minus zeta square. So here we are discussing about the frequency domain analysis, and we got the value of mr in terms of zeta, that is 1 divided by 2 zeta root of 1 minus zeta square, as well as we got omega r also we have found out. Now the plot for the magnitude m versus u for the values of zeta. So I am just varying the zeta value as 0 0.2, 0 0.4 and 0 0.6 and 1. So let me just vary all these points at different values of zeta. So let us see that how the plot for m versus u will be in case of. So what you can do is you can substitute the values of zeta as 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.6 and 1, and you can see that how the graph will be. So we'll see that. These are few theory concepts which you have to just understand with respect to if you are going with MR or omega R as well as the bandwidth. So one of the plot when the values of M varies M versus U, and where zeta varies for the different values of 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.6 and 1, how the graph will look like. So we are going to see that. So all of you have completed till here. All of you have completed till here.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we will see the graph, how the graph will appear when for different values of zeta. So what you can see here is you have drawn the drawn it with respect to m and u. So we are considering here 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0 0.6 and 1. So let me just go with 0 0.2 zeta value as 0.2. So you can see that you will get the graph in this way. when it is plotted. So this is what you're going to get, and when it is zero point 0.4, you will be slightly reducing this one, and the value of m will get reduced, and zero point 0.6 you will still and when it is 1, you will almost flatten this down. Okay, so that is what you can see here. So that is what you're going to see here. This is just for your reference to uh, make a note of it. That is the curve when the values of zeta varies for different values like zero point 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, and 1. So you can just draw this graph. So here, here we have drawn u versus m, and you know that u is equal to omega by omega n, and for different values of zeta. So as value of zeta is zero point 0.2, you can see that you're going to have maximum value of m, and when zeta is equal to 1, you can see that it is almost a straight line. So you can make a plot of this. So further, we will discuss upon the bandwidth. So this is what we have seen till now. We have seen that you have calculated the value of MR, and you found that it is equal to M when U is equal to UR, and you also found omega R, and the expressions of those two parameters you have already seen. Now you have to go with the bandwidth, and you have also seen that when U is U versus M, and for different values of zeta, that is 0 0.2, 0 0.4, 0.6, and 1, what is the variation it is going to have. So these things can be asked for theory, where you can just look into these parameters, and if you want, you can say that the frequency domain analysis and correlation between the time and frequency domain. So this is a few things which you can understand when m versus u, you get the graph like this. So after that, now we will discuss upon the bandwidth of the second order system. So the bandwidth of the prototype second order system can be found by finding the frequency at which m is equal to 1 by root 2. So we are defining the value of m as 1 by root 2, and we can find the bandwidth found by frequency at which m is equal to 1 by root 2. So I am going to define m is equal to 1 by root 2, and we are going to see the bandwidth. So the plot is completed. So have you all completed this plot? Do you need some more time? or you have completed?
Done,
Dipti,
sir.
done, no? Okay. So now we will discuss upon the bandwidth. So when we talk about the bandwidth of the prototype second order system, we can find that the frequency at which m is equal to 1 by root 2. So what is the equation for m? What we have written the equation for m before? We have already written that it is 1 divided by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 zeta u whole square, root of that is equal to 1 by root 2. So this equation is known to you. So we are just equating it, m is equal to 1 by root 2. So we can just write the equation there for m, that is 1 divided by 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 zeta u whole square, root of that is equal to 1 by root 2. Just we will simplify this further. So we can write it 1 minus u square whole square plus 2 zeta u whole square, root of that, root of this entire thing is equal to root 2. So we can solve it for u square. So we will be solving it for u square further. So here, when you solve for u square, you can just make a note of this. When you solve for u square, you will get it as 1 minus 2 zeta square plus or minus root of 1 minus 4 root of 4 zeta raised to 4 minus 4 zeta square plus 2. So when you do the solution for u square, you will get this answer. So you can see that u square is 1 minus 2 zeta square plus or minus root of 4 zeta square raised to 4 minus 4 zeta square plus 2. So we will consider that. So when you take it, when you solve it for u square, you get it as 1 minus 2 zeta raised to zeta square plus or minus this term. So what you can understand, the plus sign should be taken since u must be positive. So it is very much compulsory that the value of u must be positive. So instead of plus or minus, we will go with plus. Okay, should be taken since the u must be positive and a positive real quantity for zeta. So what you understand here is u is equal to bandwidth of n, bwn, and that is equal to bw by omega n, and that you can write it as this value, plus or minus we'll remove it and we will make it as plus itself. So we'll get 1 minus 2 zeta square plus root of 4 zeta raised to 4 minus 4 zeta square plus 2, root of that. So finally you will end up with bandwidth. Equation for bandwidth, you will get it as this one, omega n in root of 1 minus 2 zeta raised square plus 4 root of 4 zeta raised to 4 minus 4 zeta square plus 2. So you can make a note of that. So this is what you are going to get the bandwidth. So here we have already found the equation for m. We know the equation for m. We know the equation for angle phi. We also know that phase phi, you know, and you also know that the equation for omega r. You also know the equation for mr, and also we found the equation for the bandwidth. So these things you can note down. So we have also seen the figure or the graph where the values of zeta varies like zero point 0.2, zero point 0.4, zero point 0.6 and zero point 0.8 or 1, and then it is versus with respect to m and u. You have seen that how the variations will be there at the with different values of zeta. So those things as well we have discussed. So that's what you might have noted down these things. Is that completed? You got the equation for bandwidth as omega n root of 1 minus 2 zeta square plus root of 4 zeta raised to 4 minus 4 zeta square plus 2. So all of you got that answer for all the three equations. It's clear. Is that clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let me move on further. I will just move on further. So here we have already discussed all the equations for bandwidth and all. Now we will see that we will see few more concepts and then we will move on with one small problem. So to correlate the time domain and frequency domain specification, what all things you have to keep it in your mind, like to correlate the time domain and frequency domain specification, the bandwidth. First one is bandwidth is directly proportional to omega n. So first point, you have to make sure that the bandwidth is directly proportional to omega n. And the second one is for a system to be stable, to call a system to be stable, MR, what you got the equation for MR should be positive and finite. So to correlate the time domain and frequency domain specifications, you have to make sure that the bandwidth is directly proportional to omega n, and you have to also make sure that for the system to be stable, MR should be positive and finite. And next one is when zeta is 0, MR is infinite, and for zeta less than 0, MR will be negative. Thus a system is unstable. So MR no longer has any meaning when you can say that when MR is zeta is 0, MR will go as infinity, and when zeta is less than 0, you can say that MR will be negative, and thus the system will be unstable. MR no longer has any meaning because for the system to be stable, MR should be positive and finite. Okay. Then one more point which we have to discuss here is the bandwidth. Bandwidth is directly proportional to omega n, and the rise time is inversely proportional to omega n. Hence, the bandwidth and rise time are inversely proportional to each other. So, if you take the bandwidth and rise time, they are inversely proportional to each other. As well as one more thing what you can understand in the correlation is the bandwidth and MR. If you take bandwidth and MR are proportional to each other for this condition where zeta value should be between 0 less than or equal to zeta less than 0.707. So you can make a note of these points. I'll just wait for a minute and then we'll continue further. So you can understand these points where the system goes to stability and when the system is unstable, as we have seen that for zeta is 0 and MR is infinite or zeta less than 0, it goes to negative. You go for unstable system and MR will have, there is no meaning for that. And if you go with in the other case, we have seen that if you have zeta value variation for the bandwidth is directly proportional to omega n, and for the system to be unstable MR should be positive and finite. So that is very important. And then bandwidth is directly proportional to omega n, and rise time is inversely proportional to omega n. Hence, we can say that bandwidth and rise time are inversely proportional to each other. So further on, we also seen that the bandwidth of MR are proportional to each other, and the zeta value should be between 0 less than zeta less than 0.707. So when zeta value is between 0 and 707, 0.707, the bandwidth and MR are proportional to each other. So you can make a note of these things. Then we will move on to the problem. One problem we will do. So all of you have completed till there, then we will move on to the problem. So you can make a note of this problem. A negative feedback control system is characterized by the equation G of S is equal to K divided by S into S plus infinity, and H of S is equal to 1. So here it is H of S is given as 1. K divided by S into S plus alpha, and H of S is equal to 1. So write down that problem, then we will go for the solution for that. Have you completed that question? So we will look into the solution for that. So what you have to do is find the value of K and alpha, so that MR is given for you 0.1.04, and omega R is also given for you 11.55 radians per second. So find the value of K and alpha. So you need to find the value of K and alpha for this negative feedback control system. G of S is equal to K divided by S into S plus alpha, and H of S is equal to 1. So G of S and H of S is given for you, and you have to find the value of K and alpha. For the values are given for you, that is MR is 1.04 and omega R is 11.55 radians per second. And for the value of K and alpha formed, you have to find a first one is calculate the uh, settling time and the bandwidth. So you need to go with the settling time as well as the bandwidth. So you can make a note of this problem, and we will continue with the solution of that. So you can just note down this problem. So going back to the problem, where you have been given a negative feedback control system, and whose characteristic G of S is characterized by G of S is equal to K divided by S into S plus alpha, and H of S is equal to 1. We are asked to find the values of K and alpha when MR is 1.04 and omega R is 11.55 radians per second. Also, the find the values of K and alpha when first one is by calculating the settling time and the bandwidth. For the values of K and alpha, we need to find the settling time as well as the bandwidth. All the equations are there with us, so let us use the equations and find out these things. So have you all noted down this problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me just go to the solution for that. First thing is they're asking you to find out the value of k and alpha for which is given for you MR and omega R. MR is 1.04 and omega R is equal to 11.55 radians per second. So let us take the characteristic equation. So what is the characteristic equation here? 1 plus g of s h of s. So g of s is given for you, h of s is given for you. So g of s h of s is equal to 0. So I'm going to substitute that 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0. So I get 1 plus k divided by s into s plus alpha is equal to 0. So I can further simplify that and I can write s square plus alpha s plus k is equal to 0. So what all things is given here? MR is 1.04 and omega R is 11.55 radians per second. You are asked to find the settling time as well as the bandwidth after finding the values of K and alpha. So we have to use the equations for MR and omega R in order to find the values of K and alpha. So we got first the characteristic equation where we have s square plus alpha s plus k is equal to 0. So we have to compare the equation with the reference characteristic equation. What is the reference characteristic equation which we have studied in module 2, I think, where we have studied about the second order system, where you know that the characteristic equation is s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square is equal to 0. This is the general uh, characteristic equation which you have studied for the second order system. So it's clearly mentioned that it is a second negative feedback second order system. So you can just write the equation for that, that is s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Now you have one equation here by the characteristic equation, that is s square plus alpha s plus k is equal to 0. You also have the general comparing the equation with the reference characteristic equation you have, that is s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square is equal to 0. Now you can do the comparison. When you compare it, you can get 2 zeta omega n is alpha and omega n square is k. So we need to compare it and further simplify that. So you'll get 2 zeta omega n is alpha and k is equal to omega n square. So you can solve it along with me, then we will continue further. Just you can solve it. Yeah, so we got the 2 zeta omega n is alpha and omega n square is k. So further we will simplify that. So what all things are given for you in the question? For you it is given MR is equal to 1.04. So I have to use the equation for MR. So what is the equation I can use for MR, which we have derived it before? So we have 1 by MR is what? 1 divided by 2 zeta root of 1 minus zeta square, that is equal to 1.04. So we have just taken we have taken 1 plus g of s h of s is equal to 0. We got s square plus alpha s plus k is equal to 0. We did the comparison with the characteristic equation, which we know it before, which we have studied, that is s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. By comparing these two equations, we get 2 zeta omega n is equal to alpha and omega n square is equal to k. In the question, it is already given that MR is equal to 1.04 by using the equation for MR which we have derived before, that is 1 divided by 2 zeta root of 1 minus zeta square, that will be equal to 1.04. Now we have to simplify that. So zeta value 0.6 and 0.8. We can select zeta is equal to 0.6 as zeta should be always greater than or equal to 0.707, which yields no peak value for omega greater than 0. So these conditions we have seen in the previous derivations. So what we are going to see here, we are going to select zeta as 0.6 because we know that if zeta is greater than 0.707, this will not yield any peak value for omega greater than 0. So we have to go with zeta is equal to 0.6 rather than 0.8. So we are not going with 0.8, so we have to go with zeta value 0.6. And in the question also, it is already mentioned that omega r is 11.55 radians per second. So we also have the equation for omega r, which we have studied in the previous derivation. Omega r is equal to omega n root of 1 minus 2 zeta square. So that is equal to 11.55. So by using that equation which you have studied, omega n root of 1 minus 2 zeta square is equal to 11.55, you can make sure that you can find out omega from that. So you can find out omega from that. You will get it as omega is equal to 21.8 radians per second. So once one of the value you have already completed, that is omega n. Omega n you got it as 21.8 radians per second. We know that we got this value with the help of by taking zeta and by omega r value. All these things we got omega n is 21.8 radians per second. Once you get omega n, see omega n square is k, which we have already written, so we can find out k as well. Once you get all these parameters, you can find out alpha as well. So let us find out those values. So substituting zeta and omega n, we will get k is equal to 475 and alpha is 26.2. So you can do the calculations and check whether you are getting these answers. So I'll give you some time. You can check it out. You'll get alpha is 26.2 and value of k is 475. So complete that problem. So you'll get those values there. After that, in the problem, they have asked you to find out the settling time. So for 2% criterion, the settling time equation we have studied in module 3. So settling time is given as for a second order system. You can say that settling time is 4 divided by zeta omega n. So you need to use that equation. You will get it as when you substitute the values of omega and zeta, you will get it as 0.305 seconds. And bandwidth, you have just written the equation for bandwidth. You can use that equation, substitute the values of zeta and omega, you get it as 25 radians per second. So you can complete this problem. You can substitute the values and check whether you are getting the same answer, and we will continue that further.